starting. There we are. All right, we're on the air. Oh my gosh, what a treat. I'm so glad to be back with you all again on Beauty Experience Round 2. I want to say a big thank you to all of you who have jumped into this, and a massive thank you to Tina Frantz and April Hutchinson, who really have been the incubators and the catalyst for ideas, and truly have just created and helped to pursue something that is so relevant to the average American woman today. And so we've already had one beauty experience YouTube, and feel like after they've been in the field and they have learned a lot from doing many, many beauty experiences, and they are so generous with their time, leading very large numbers of women, and yet still want to invest in you. In fact, it was their idea for us to do a round 2 so that they could share with you the things that they have been learning. And so I'm excited to hand it over to Tina right now, who's going to start us off. So Tina, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. First of all, I just want to say, whoa. I am like blown away by this overwhelming excitement about the beauty experience. And I have to say, Nathan Moore started this with his explanation of how the Mary Kay experience was different than the other beauty counter trips and Amazon box that you get on your front doorstep. It was all about the experience. And then I took that to a whole new level when Laura Beitler and Allison Sellers and I, and even April and I, had conversation, almost 2 hours of conversations on how to run with this concept, which then turned into this word being used almost exclusively instead of party or facial, because it's what's hot and it's what is on trend, and it's still the same great stuff that we offer, just enhanced in a way that makes it really exciting, fresh, and fun, and quite literally breathes new life into your business. And I just want to reiterate, it's taking a great thing and enhancing it with fresh words and a few hot washcloths, sparkling juice, etc., fill in the blank, okay? And so last time on Beauty Experience Round 1, we talked about kind of the birth of the experience and the different products that you can use to enhance your experience, like the charcoal mask and the Revealing Radiance facial peel and the Moisture Renewal gel mask and microdermabrasion, and of course, the new biocellulose, which I'm gonna let April take a little bit and talk a little bit more about that. Because we didn't get to talk a lot about that product on the last beauty experience, but we talked about how we're calling these treatments and how we're saying experience a lot and how we're using more luxurious terminology, in which I very excitedly found out that on Product Central, when you actually look up these product descriptions, they're already very luxurious sounding anyway. And so I pretty much copy pasted what Mary Kay already had out there to put together a sheet that describes so beautifully these treatments, which is what they are. And it makes it so much more fun to talk about and more enticing for the ear to hear. And so it's been super fun, but it's been taking a great thing and enhancing it. So what's been happening is nothing short of an explosion, a bit dramatic, but that's how it feels. My personal experience this month alone is quite revealing as to the popularity and success of the beauty experience. My personal results this month alone with the beauty experience, as of the 15th, is I've held 2 platinum packages, 1 diamond beauty bar, and 2 gold experiences. I also had 3 fall off my date book. I sold over $1,100, and I have 2 new personal team members. So this beauty experience has just given me a fresh joy for getting together with people. It's given me an excitement for booking that I haven't had in years. And it's given seasoned consultants a reason to get back in front of people they haven't seen in a while. So the results are the proof that this is in fact a movement. And April, I'd love for you to share kind of what you've personally been experienced results-wise so far.
Okay, awesome. Sorry, I had to unmute myself. I'm hearing some feedback though. I'm not sure if that's what that is. Okay, now I'm not. That's good. So yeah, Tina, I can totally relate to what you have been experiencing with these new beauty experiences and the results that I've had. I went back through my date book and just jotted down some notes on what I have experienced with booking these new beauty experiences. It really revolutionized my month of November, and I know going into December, I already have some experiences booked for December. My unit and personal results are that I find that there's just a different ease with booking than maybe there was in previous months for several different people, myself included. I went into November with 0 bookings and I ended with 11 groups on my calendar by the 5th. And 4 bronze packages, which would be the single appointments. So 11 groups, and they were dispersed between the platinum packages. I had 3 of those booked. I think 5 gold booked, and 3 silver booked, and 4 bronze, so single facials. My unit as a whole booked 150 bookings or groups with guest list by the 5th or by the 6th of November. And a good portion of them I know were booking beauty experiences and jumped on that bandwagon. And so what I've also seen is that new consultants who really don't know any different, they have been taking initiative with it too, and jumping on that and offering beauty experience packages to people. And so I personally have really been loving that hostesses get to choose a package. I mean, essentially a package is a hostess program, but I've been loving that new verbiage and that they have options. And I have found that they love that they have options. I think also this has led to an ease in coaching and getting a guest list. And there's clear expectations because they're choosing whatever hostess program or package that they want to do and how many people that includes. And I can say, you know, when she says, oh, I love the gold package, that one sounds the most appealing, I can then easily follow up with, well, great, that's 5 friends that are joining you, and everyone gets to customize their own treatment. So it's clear on what is offered and how many people are there. And then it eases into that next step of getting together a list of, you know, I can get together a list of 10 people so that we can make sure that you have 5 that are participating. I have had, and I don't know if those of you who have really jumped on the bandwagon with this already, I've had more questions from people as I'm booking or reaching out and as I'm coaching. I've had more questions about, is it free? What exactly is it? I know Tina's going to address some of those questions. And what I found is that I need to be tight on how I'm communicating about it and clear on how I'm communicating. And then what I found is those who are asking questions have the most buy-in. So when you're getting questions, that is good and it's okay. It means that they're curious and they're interested. So I can take those questions and turn it into a solid group experience. In fact, my most solid experiences that I've booked and that I've been coaching and I've gotten guest lists from are the hostesses have asked several questions throughout the booking and coaching process. So hopefully by the end of today, we can address some of those questions and you can feel clear on how to answer some of the questions that I've been getting that maybe before, when I wasn't offering beauty experience packages, I wasn't getting those specific questions. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And I'll tell you this, that when Tina and I have really, you know, been bouncing this idea back and forth, and when we came home from the trip, we both talked about how we just kind of jumped into it. And I feel like I jumped into it and then kind of just figured it out as I went. And as I've been holding experiences, I've been tweaking them and figuring it out. And so don't be afraid to do that. Take an idea and just run with it and take initiative with it. What I've noticed is I have personally been excited about these shifts and the new verbiage and just the feeling of something new. And I think that's important for this to work and for it to be effective for you. You've got to be excited about it and passionate about this new shift and this new thing that you're offering. Some responses that I've been getting from people at these beauty experiences was, this was so nice. I feel so relaxed. This was so fun. Next time I want to try that, like that other treatment that she did. And I've also been doing some before and after selfies of skincare only. We're not doing makeup at the beauty experiences that are the treatments. And I've been getting amazing feedback from having them do a selfie before the skincare and the treatment and then right after the skincare and the treatment. I can't even tell you, it's been selling me on how incredible these products really are. And so also want to reiterate as we kind of go back and go through some info and details today, is this does not have to be a complete overhaul from what you've already been doing. So try to avoid over analyzing the details, especially, you know, I want to say this too. If what you're doing is working, don't fix what isn't broken. Okay. So if you're already consistently holding parties of 6 to 8 people and people are excited about what you're offering and you are excited and passionate about what you're offering and you're already in a flow, don't fix it. Pull some ideas about what we've been talking about if you'd like to enhance what you're already doing. Personally, I needed something fresh. And what I found is that experiences are what people are looking for. And so this really has filled a need that I personally needed in my business. I've also had cancellations. My consultants have had cancellations. I share, you know, to not have unrealistic expectations. I get normal no's and normal cancellations, but the experiences I have held have been higher attendance, greater feedback, great feedback on them. The coaching feels more seamless and solid, and my sales have, especially skincare, have been higher and really great. And people are excited about trying another treatment next time. Okay, those are some things that I've been seeing. So Tina, I'm going to throw it back to you.
Well, actually, I want to say something. How close can I get to the camera? No, anyway, what I want to say is, let me just stop for a second. So for the people watching, I'm going to bet that there's a chunk that didn't get on the first beauty experience Google Hangout. Can one of you just give me like a 3-minute overview? Like, what is a beauty experience? Like, what are like the top 3 things that you're tweaking? Because we want to make sure people understand. I think some people will be asking, well, what is a beauty experience? So can one of you all lay that out really quickly for everyone that maybe doesn't know what it is?
Yes, sure. So basically, a beauty experience is a party with some enhancements. Main 3 things that we're tweaking or enhancing or changing is verbiage. We're changing party to experience. It's an experience. Second thing is incorporating more of our treatments and calling them treatments, which they truly are: facial peel, charcoal mask, microdermabrasion. And the third thing is it's really changed up what I offer as a hostess program, and I'm calling it a package, a beauty experience package, and they have options. And so it is your party, but it's enhanced with offering treatments and making it more of a spa-like feel. So with it being a spa-like feel, I'm not really focusing on makeup. And I'm going to talk a little bit here when I talk about booking second appointments, how you can incorporate booking second appointments to do makeup. But the whole feel of it is they have warm towels with crock pots that they're staying warm in, and they're doing a special treatment like a charcoal mask experience or a facial peel, and along with their skincare treatment. I'm bringing in the mint foot lotion, the soothing eye gel, the satin hands and lips, of course, and I'm using verbiage that makes it feel luxurious and spa-like. And that is a huge shift. The words that you use, they create the experience that people are having. And so I would say the verbiage and the words, shifting from the 1 or 2 hostess programs I was offering to doing beauty experience packages where the hostess chooses which package, and the packages are, the differences are the treatments that they're doing and the number of people that they're having and the free product they get. And then just making the experience more spa-like.
That's awesome. Thank you. So I just want to make sure everyone's clear. Like the packages, that means hostess program. We're just not saying hostess program. And we're not saying Mary Kay party or Mary Kay skincare class. We're saying beauty experience. And this doesn't mean that we're not doing skincare. We are doing skincare. Everything,
that's
all
what
that
we're
stays
doing.
the same. We're just adding a few other products in that make it more luxurious. So that is perfect. And the hostess program, the spa packages or the beauty experience packages are based on the number of people that show up.
Right.
And so it's based on how big the more people you have at your party or your experience, you get to do more products, more treatments. So, okay, good. I just want to clarify that so people aren't like, no, what? So, all right. Sorry, April. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just felt like people would want to know that. So, okay.
No, you're good.
You did a great job.
Tina, go for it.
Tina's on. Okay, go Tina.
Yeah, and so we have these packages already printed out. Platinum is the biggest with the 8 people or more, and then it goes from that to gold, and then silver, and then bronze would be what we call a single facial. And we also have those for skincare, which is more of a spa experience, and then we have one for color, which is we call a beauty bar experience, which is more color and more different tips and tricks on how they can have something small as a everyday glamour look to a more enhanced look. And then we've even gone a step further and created bridal experiences where you can book your brides with their bridal party, and depending on how many bridesmaids and family members that they have come, they can pick different bridal packages, and you can enhance these different experiences with things like what April talked about. One of my favorites is I bought these just really nice hard plastic, ones that you can wash, champagne flutes, and I use sparkling juice, and I serve that at my platinum experiences, and we toast the hostess, and it's something very special and unique that I've never done before at a regular party. Also, I tend to light these little tea light candles throughout, and play spa music in the background on a YouTube channel that has 6 hours of spa music, and it just creates this ambiance that is just different than a traditional party. So basically, like what she said, is we're taking what already is great about a Mary Kay party, and we're just enhancing it with new lingo and a couple other enhancements just to make it feel more special, okay? And so that's what people are wanting. They're wanting an experience. I would much rather book an experience than a party. I'm just saying. And I think so would the rest of the world. Okay, and so I've been getting a lot of questions on the execution side of an experience, and just without going into too much detail, I just want to say what April said is don't overthink it. It doesn't have to be a whole new thing, like where you just scrap the party and start fresh. It could be, if that's your thing and you want to do that and you love change, then go for it. But if you're the type of person that gets nervous and like you get squeamish about like change, you can still use your flip chart and just change some verbiage, add some washcloths and some spa music, and it's really the same thing. You're just adding a special little section for a treatment like a mask or something like that. But if you are like me and you've really embraced this beauty experience and you've had some questions, the first question is I've been getting a lot about the Hostess plan. The packages are the Hostess plan. But a lot of you are asking me, well, how much free product does the Hostess get and all that stuff. And well, the way April and I have done it, you can do it 2 different ways. We have one package, have the Hostess benefits in it, just the actual packages of how many people and what they'll experience. And then we have one with the, 75, 100, or 120 for 35, which is a glorified company Hostess program. So you can either use that one, or you can use the one without it and create your own Hostess program. Because if you have a Hostess program that works, don't change it. But if you don't, you can use the one that the company is offering. And so it just starts at the silver and goes up. So 75 for 35, 100 for 35, 120 for 35. And you can use that Hostess program if you want, but it's not like it's not set in stone. You can pick. Another question that I was getting is, I see only these products on there. Can we offer other products? Sure. If you want to put vitamin C squares in there, put vitamin C squares in there. If you want to add the cellulite cream and the massager, throw that in there. You can do whatever you want. You can change up your products. It doesn't have to be just what we were just throwing out an example of what was working for us. And I've gotten a lot of questions about, well, everybody does a different treatment? Like, isn't that confusing? And can't they just all do the same thing? And well, sure, you can do that way. You can have the Hostess pick what treatment everybody's getting if you want. Or what I've been doing is when my pre-profiling is happening, I'm asking them what treatment do they want to try? What would they like to have at the experience? Number one, it makes my pre-profiling a lot more fun. And number two, when I'm going through all of the different products that each person is using, I'll say something like, now Caitlin is using the deep cleansing pore declogging charcoal mask with rosemary and bentonite clay, and I'll describe it. And she's gonna experience this, and her face is gonna tighten up, and she's gonna see the white spots coming through, which is her pores literally being unclogged, you know, and then I'll say, but, and I'll continue to read the description. And if you would like to try this at your second experience, you totally can. And then I'll move to Brittany. Brittany's using the Moisture Renewal Gel Mask. You know, it kind of looks clear, but then I'll talk a little bit about that. And this helps me personalize each person's first experience and sell them on the second experience, and helps them have a really cool, helps me have a really cool reason to pre-profile before the experience. The third thing that I was getting questions on was the menu versus the set sheet. So we have a Dropbox file. If you're new to this beauty experience, there's been a Dropbox that is been floating around through Voxer, on websites and on Facebook, that has, you know, a lot of different optional documents that support, and tools that support this beauty experience that you can totally take advantage of. And I, at the very beginning, when I was starting this off, basically end of September, beginning of October is when I started doing beauty experiences. I started with a menu because it gave me something that they could look at to see which treatment they wanted, and they would circle it, and that's how I started it. But now I've kind of switched to using set sheets. It doesn't matter which one you use, but I was finding that when I used just the menu, it was it showed the individual pricing on the treatments, and I noticed I wasn't selling as much skincare, and just more of the treatments and the supplements. So I switched back to a set sheet, which I finally have one that's all spelled correctly. And I have been selling way more skincare, and I've been able to kind of just go back to my regular table clothes, but only just talking a little bit about the treatments in with my table clothes. And so if you want to use the menu, you can. If your flow is great with that menu, or if you want to incorporate both somehow, I do still use a menu in my pre-profiling process to describe the different treatments. But as for the party itself, I have just the set sheet, and on the back, I use it as a whiteboard for them to, you know, take notes and tally points and things like that, which is really fun. Again, all optional kind of things. You can choose to do what you want with those as well. It's not this menu or this beauty experience, it's not cookie cutter. It's just enhancing what you're already doing. And so I just keep reiterating that. Don't get overwhelmed with all the details. It doesn't have to be that way. It's just add some fun to it. And then the fourth question I've been getting is about, you know, the games and what to do while the masks are drying. And, you know, I just freshened up my games, and I added marketing in there too. And, you know, you can keep the games you already play. If you already have like Mrs. Cab, if you have, you know, I Spy or the purse game or candy marketing or whatever you have, if you are, you know, rock solid on that and you want to keep that, great, you can still do that. I just wanted to switch it up and freshen it up again, just to make me more excited about the experience. And so, you know, I want to accomplish 3 things while the mask is drying, which is why I threw those games in there. The first thing I want to accomplish is the fun, bonding, girly experience. You know, I want them walking away thinking that was a really fun experience. You know, I want them to think, I'm going to tell my girlfriends at work tomorrow how fun it was, and some of the crazy questions they ask, like, have you ever gone an entire winter without shaving your legs? You know, I want to create the experience. You know, if you go away for a weekend with the girls, you come back with great stories. I wanted to recreate that feel with these games. The second thing I wanted to do is share Mary Kay, the person, the opportunity, and my personal experience with the business. In other words, marketing information. You know, this is where the Which Is It game comes into play, where with each question, I have a personal story and a picture to go along with it. I have this really cute little #MyMKLife picture book, and it basically goes through the different things about the company and my personal story with it. For example, like trips or recognition, and, you know, my largest check, or just some fun, my family, even just how it's benefited my family. And so I have pictures and personal stories, because personal stories are relatable, and you want to take the company and make it relatable so that they can see themselves in your shoes. And so I do that while the mask is drying. And then the third thing I want to walk away with while the masks are drying or their treatments are setting in is referrals. You know, and I really want to make sure I leave every experience still working full circle like I normally would at a regular party. And so in 30 minutes, I want to accomplish those 3 things, then wipe off the masks and finish the skincare and the rest of the things that they are sampling with the packages that the hostess qualified for. So it doesn't matter what games you play, but those are the 3 reasons that you have those, you want to incorporate those things in that section of time while the mask is drying. And then the fifth thing I've been asking about is an updated flip chart. And I just want to say we're working on an add-in and some things that we can enhance the flip chart that the company has given us so that you can turn it into a beauty experience. Right now, my flip chart is literally, I use it because I think a tool is really important because it makes your job duplicatable and it makes it look easy. And I think a flip chart is a must, even at a beauty experience. But I've got revisions and chicken scratches all over it, and we're working on getting it finalized and having some really great C personalities look over it before I let anyone see my chicken scratches. So I want to pass it on to April because I know you have a few other things that you want to talk about. Before I talk about some of the booking objections that I've been getting and questions about those things, I'm going to go over those in a minute. But April, I'm going to pass it back to you.
Yeah, and so what I want to share about is booking second experiences from your experiences. What are some things that I found have helped me to do that? If you're going to embrace this and run with it, you want to still have the same goal in mind, which is to work full circle. That does not change. When I go into an experience, I want to leave that experience with second experiences booked with everyone that I possibly can. And so basically, I'm sharing the same thing I've always shared in the very beginning of an experience. And so the lingo or the language of, this is your first of 2 appointments. I offer everyone I'm in front of 2 appointments. At your first appointment, we're going to do this. At your second appointment, we're going to do this. So that hasn't changed much. I'm just changing the verbiage appointment to experience. Okay. So, and I enhanced it a bit by sharing a little bit about the packages. So let me share with you what I'm saying. What I'm saying after the introductions and the experience, I'm saying, so I get to offer 2 experiences to everyone that I'm in front of. At your second beauty experience, you can choose from our list of package options. You get to do another treatment that we offer. And maybe tonight you're going to see someone else doing a treatment that you would love to try at your second experience. Or you can also choose to do a color or glamour experience if you'd rather do that. And we have a list of different glamour packages you can choose from. You can choose to share your experience with girlfriends, just like so-and-so is tonight. And when you do that, you get to take home free products and treatments that you love. So tonight, and if this is a platinum package that I'm doing, actually tonight, Friday night, I have a platinum package with one of my customers, Katie. And so what I'm going to say is tonight, Katie chose the platinum experience for you all. And this is the ultimate experience package. So at the very end of tonight, I'm going to share with you some different package options you can choose for your second experience, and then how to make that experience amazing for you and your girlfriends. Okay, so I'm just enhancing it by sharing a little bit about the packages. Like, they get to choose which package, and this is the package that so-and-so did tonight for you all. And that platinum experience is the ultimate experience. I want to plant that seed so that at the end, when I'm sharing about the platinum experience and I'm really promoting it, then they're really listening. They're honing in on that, because I want to book platinum experiences. Wouldn't you rather be in front of 8 women at a time? And so that's one just slight shift that I'm making in the beginning, where I'm still talking about the second appointment. I'm just changing the verbiage to second experience and how they can what they get to choose. Okay. I think one key thing that I have found women are really loving about these beauty experiences is choices. I think women of today's world, they want choices. And so I love that I can incorporate that into, these are your package choices. These are your options. And so, a couple other things that I've been doing that have been the second appointments or second experiences is right after the cleanser is when I incorporate the treatment. Okay, so when we're into the product, as soon as that we do the cleanser, and for the most part, I'm either demoing the Miracle Set or the repair set. And in fact, I have found that demoing the repair set has been a little more luxurious of an experience. So just to throw that out there, I know that the starter kit comes with the Miracle Set. So I'm not trying to, rock the boat too much. And so the Miracle set is great too. If you have the ability or the willingness to demo the repair set, it really is such an experience for them. And so after the cleanser, what I'm doing is what Tina just explained, where each person might be doing a different treatment, or there might be, like last Saturday when I did an experience, there were 2 girls that did the charcoal mask, 2 that did the facial peel, and 1 that did microdermabrasion. Okay, so I had all 3 happening, and then the hostess got the biocellulose mask treatment. All right, so I had a few different things happening. Now, that doesn't have to seem complicated. I know it kind of does, but it doesn't have to seem complicated. What I have laid out on, like, as a display is I have each treatment sitting out. And right after cleanser, what I'm doing is I'm going through each one and I just have a power statement. So I'll take the charcoal mask and I'll say, okay, who's doing the charcoal mask? And Tina just went through this. And then, you know, a couple people raise their hand, or I might point out, like, so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so, you all are doing this treatment. Here's what it's about. Here's what it's going to do for your skin. Here's what you're going to experience when it's on your face. You are going to love it. So I'm promoting it. I'm sharing a couple quick statements about it. I tell them how to apply it and I say, okay, go for it. All right, next, microdermabrasion. I actually do that one last because it's not something that sits on their face for 10 minutes. Okay, facial peel. So-and-so and so-and-so, you 2 are doing the facial peel. Here's what you're going to experience when the facial peel is on your face. It's going to make your skin radiant after 1 use. It dissolves the dead skin. So I'm sharing a couple quick power statements and then I tell them how to do it. Okay, go ahead. Now, microdermabrasion. You're doing this one. Here's what it does. It, you know, exfoliates all that dead skin off of your face. Your skin will feel so smooth afterward. It helps minimize pores, and you have a serum that's a pore minimizer. So they're all hearing a little nuggets about each treatment, and it gets them excited to try something else next time. And that's what I had happen on Saturday night when I had a few different people trying a few different things. There was, you know, really the people that didn't do charcoal mask were like, I want to try that next time because that looks so fun. And so that's one thing I'm doing that really promotes the second appointment. And I'm saying, just, and Tina said this, I'm saying now at your second experience, you can choose one of these other treatments that you would like to do. So we'll talk about that at the end. So I'm incorporating that again. The other thing that I'm doing is I'm giving away 2 gift bags. Now, this is very similar to what I've always learned and what I learned from Julia, where I'm giving away gift bags that they're cute. I just got them at the dollar store. Inside, it has some candy, business card, and then a gift certificate they can use at their second experience. That is exactly what I've always done. But what I'm giving them away for is what I've always done. I'm not changing what I've always done because it works. For whoever has the most tickets or the most points or whatever games you play where you give tickets out, whoever has the most gets the gifts for their second experience, and they can use their gift certificate at their second experience. Okay, so that's not different than what I've always done. I know many of you out there might do different things. But what I just would recommend is to have some giveaways that a couple people are taking a gift certificate home that they can use at their second experience. And then at the very end of the experience, I have flyers of the experience package options to make that shift where instead of calling it a hostess program, you're going to do these package options. I would have these printed out on flyers and I go over with them in the group. So I actually review what they each are. And I really focus on promoting the platinum package first and how that is the ultimate of their, you know, bringing the spa to them. And then I have them circle which one that they like the best out of the package options. Okay, so that's something I'm doing different at the end that I've never quite done that before with a hostess program. I've always promoted my hostess program, but I think this is kind of like that extra step that they are, again, choosing. And when they circle one, it's almost like that's the one they're committing to. And I love that because then when I'm meeting one-on-one with them at the end and it's time to book their second experience, we pull that flyer out. They've already circled one and I can easily reference it and say, oh, so the next experience, you circled the gold package. That is exciting. Let's go ahead and set a date. Would you prefer this day or this day? So they've already committed to it. So I love that. Okay, now let me shift gears really quickly and talk about incorporating the lifting biocellulose mask, because the last Google Hangout we didn't really talk a lot about that. We didn't talk about it at all. Actually, it wasn't released yet. So I want to talk about this because I think that this is a major reason that I have booked several platinum packages. Actually, I had a guest come to one of our girls' night outs at our meetings. And at that meeting was the first time we were showing the biocellulose mask. It was early in November. And I gave one of the masks away to a guest. I like drew somebody. And so one person tried it. So we talked about it in the group. One of my guests at the end said, now, how do I get to try that mask? What do I need to do? And so I told her about the Platinum Beauty Experience. She's like, okay, let's do that. Let's book that. I can get 8 women together. I'll find them. I want to try that mask. So I really think that using this biocellulose mask will help you to promote the platinum package, where she's going to be motivated to get friends together when she knows she gets to try something extra special. So that's one way I've been using it to book strong parties. Okay, so let me talk about at the party, at the experience, where the hostess does a trial of the mask. Here's how I do this. In the very, very beginning of the experience, right after everyone does some quick introductions, but before I even talk about the second experience, I present the hostess with a gift bag. And in the gift bag, with tissue paper and everything, it has one of the masks in the gift bag. So I'm presenting it to her as a gift. And what I share is this. Okay, so because Bernadette chose to do a Platinum Beauty Experience today with all of you tonight, she gets a special gift, and I hand her the gift. And this gift, Bernadette, you're going to get to use tonight, is a brand new special spa-like treatment. Normally at a spa, it would be about $150 to $200 as a treatment one time at a spa. And you will get to try this for free tonight. So go ahead and open it up. So she opens it up, she pulls out the little package, and I say, now I call this the coconut water facial, and it makes your skin vibrant and dewy and beautiful, immediately brighter. You all will see a difference in Bernadette's skin tonight. And it infuses your skin with extra hydration for 24 hours. So Bernadette, are you excited about trying this tonight? Okay, awesome. So then I'm like really selling and promoting that biocellulose mask. I'm getting everyone excited about the fact that she just got this as a gift, and I present it to her as a gift. Okay, so then right after cleanser, when it's time to do the treatments, when we get into that special treatment section, what I do is I pull the hostess aside, or I go to her and I put her in the spotlight, because I want to first show everyone how this bio mask works, and everyone watches as I demonstrate how to apply it, and she puts it on her face. So I demonstrate for everyone. I pull it out, I show them the mask, I tell them a little bit about it, some fun facts about it. I even have a sheet, if this will help you, to print one of those Mary Kay flyers that has fun facts about the mask on it. That might help you to learn about it, or to have some power statements about it. And then I pull the film off how she applies it. Everyone kind of laughs, she laughs, and I'll even make a statement like, it kind of looks weird, but I promise it feels amazing. So, because it's obvious that it's kind of weird, it looks weird, but it feels incredible. And I ask her, like, what does it feel like? Tell everyone what it feels like. And then she's like, it's cold. It feels cold. I'm like, I know, it feels like it's been in the refrigerator all day, hasn't it? And then everyone's like, ooh, that's awesome. And so I want everyone to be excited about booking their own Platinum Beauty Experience to try this biocellulose mask. So here's another little thing that I do. I forgot to share this. Before the hostess, or before anyone does any of the treatments, right after they cleanse, I have them take a selfie, and I tell them to make sure it's directly, pointed at their skin, and to take a couple of them, maybe one smiling, one not, make sure it's good lighting. So they take selfies. And then what I'm going to have them do is to take another selfie after their treatment and after their skincare. And I think I mentioned this earlier. It makes such a huge difference. But specifically with the biomask, everyone at the end, they look at each other's selfies, and the hostess who did the biomask, they're all like oohing and ahhing over her skin because of the difference that it makes one time. So then after she puts the mask on, I set a 30-minute timer so that I can time myself and everyone else with what treatments that they're doing. And that's when I jump in and go through those 3 games that Tina just explained. So it gives me a time frame and a time limit and some fun things that we go through quickly. It makes the time go fast. And I tell her that she's going to leave the mask on for 30 minutes. And I give some examples about what I do when I have my mask on at home. I say, you know, one time I just had some aches in my back and I got in a hot bath and I had my mask on, and it was awesome because the contrast of like the hot bath and the cool on my face, I loved it. And then another time I put the mask on and I sat in bed and I read for 30 minutes and I set a timer. And so it's like helping them to paint a picture of what they could do with their mask. So, the other thing I want to share is some of you might have seen that on the flyer, the Hostess package options, one of the flyers says 120 in product for only 35. Another says up to 100 in free products. I know that one is a little less specific, but here's what I want to tell you. When she is doing the biomask at a platinum package, she's actually getting $100 in free product because she's choosing 120 for 35. But with the free mask, it's $17.50 that you're also adding on to that. Does that make sense? Because you're giving her a product that she's using that night. And so she's actually getting $100 in free product with that package if you're letting her try the mask too. So I just wanted to explain that. I had a couple consultants ask me about that. And then a couple steps that I'm taking to make my hostess or my whole things go smoother. I want to share about making this flow, some things I've learned along the way. I'm doing the games during the treatments, like Tina said. I have an outline of a flow to keep me on track, and I'm more than happy to share that outline. I'll put it in Dropbox. I think Tina created an outline of what she does as well, so then you'll have a couple options. I bring a consultant with me. Bring consultants with you. I don't care if you're a new consultant. Grab another consultant. Bring her with you. It will help you to set up, to go faster. And here's what I've been doing. While I do the one-on-one consultations at the end, I have my helper, the other consultant, have everyone do satin hands and the mint foot lotion. So I actually save those for those to happen while I'm meeting one-on-one. So it kind of keeps the party going, but I'm meeting one-on-one with people. For the treatment packages, the special treatment packages, I'm not doing makeup. I'm not offering makeup. And I tell them that they're going to get their skin's going to be ready for bed. And people love that. So I make sure they know that ahead of time. And I do offer an expert foundation matching, but I do that during their one-on-one consultation and I make it fast. So if they want foundation matching, or if they want to throw on some foundation, when I meet one-on-one with them, I'll match them. I'll give them a squirt of it. And when we're totally done with everything, I send them back to the group. They can put their foundation on while I'm meeting with somebody else. You can also choose to have them leave their eye makeup on if you want to do that. I have packed my starter kit. I've reorganized it for a beauty experience. And all I take into these beauty experiences is my starter kit and one other bag with everything else that I need in it. I went to Target. I got a small little crock pot, one of the mini crock pots. It holds easily 10 washcloths, and it was $8. You don't have to do that. You could have the hostess do the crock pot, but I just thought, you know what? If I get a little mini one, it easily fits in my other bag. I like that. I could totally do that. So I reorganized my starter kit to match what I need. And then whatever way you do this, find out what treatments that they're going to do ahead of time. That is, just include that into your pre-profiling so that you can prepare ahead of time. And when you get to the party, you can set up, you know, what they need. And then the last thing I'll show you, and this is certainly not something you have to do. You don't have to run out and go buy these or do this. It's just an extra thing I decided to do. And I find that I really like it. So it's just an idea, is I got clipboards, and all of their papers that they're going to use are already on the clipboard. My assistant gets all these together. So I don't do anything with this. The papers are together. Their name will be on their profile card already. And then I know what treatment they're doing because she also prints these handouts, and it's on cardstock, so I can keep reusing them of whatever treatment they're doing. So if I have 3 people doing the charcoal mask, I have clipboards with charcoal mask on them for 3 people. Okay. And then, so that way they can see some of the info if they want to about the charcoal mask treatment. I have a goodie bag attached. I have a fabulous game to get referrals on there. I have the beauty treatments, and it's laminated so that they can circle which treatment when I go over that at the end during the close. I have the menu or the set sheet so that they can circle their favorites and make a list of their favorites. And then I have a survey that I do for my people, and it's in the order that we go in it and through the party or through the experience. And I just basically give them a clipboard when they arrive. And as we go through the experience, if we need to reference something, I say, okay, go to your clipboard and pull this out. Most of it's at the end when I'm having them circle which package they want to do for their second experience and which products they loved when they're making a wish list and circling their favorites. And then when I meet one-on-one, they just bring their clipboard to me. So that's just an idea to help with organizations. So I am going to throw it back to Tina.
Hey, oh my gosh, April, that was so good. That was so good. I love your brain and how it works. Oh, okay. And I have just a couple comments about the biocellulose mask. The eye flaps. Okay, y'all need to just do one with the eye flaps down, like take a 20-minute nap or something, because the way your eyes look when you're done with the eye flaps on, whoa, that's all I have to say. Like, whoa. I don't recommend doing it at a party because then they can't see what's going on, but at least personally, and then tell them if they take one home that they need to do that. They need to actually put the eye flaps down when they take it home with them. Okay, so I had to say that.
Something about that, Tina?
Yeah.
Okay, so also you can have them put the eye flaps really close under here. Oh my goodness. The way that it totally diminishes the wrinkles, that is what people are seeing in their before and after selfies.
Wow.
So just have them push the eye flap as close to under their eyes as they can. And it like depuffs and it minimizes the wrinkles, and it's very obvious in the pictures.
That's awesome. Yeah, you could even like cut the eye flaps off and just stick them on their eyes too, which would be really beneficial. Because Angie Ludwig came to our meeting last night, and she said she was cutting it up and having them put on specific areas of their skin, and they could tell an immediate difference. It was so cool. And she also said she plays the Phantom of the Opera music when she puts the mask on her Hostess, because it's like a big white mask and it's funny and everyone laughs. But anyway, I just thought that was really, really cute of Angie to do that. So transitioning into some things that I feel like consultants have been getting some objections when they're booking. And so I want to go over, especially for new consultants that are just trying this out, and they're getting some people that say, like, when they're booking them, the prospect that they're trying to book is saying something like, well, what if I can't get that many people together? Like, I want the platinum package, but I don't have that many that many people. And so what I say to that is give them options. Don't say like, oh, well, just try. But give them options. Say, hey, you can either pick a different package if you can't get 8 people there, or you can upgrade to the platinum by collecting some outside orders from the guests that cannot come. And so I'm giving them options instead of saying, oh, well, just try your best, or, you can also give them ideas on who to ask, but you can also give them options that they can still qualify for a platinum package, because the platinum, let's be honest, it's the best. It's the one everyone wants. It's the one with the biocellulose mask. They can upgrade to it if they have certain guests that can't come by collecting some outside orders. So the other objection that I got from a former consultant who's now back in my customer base, who I was trying to book for one of these experiences, the question I got was, isn't this a Mary Kay party, or is it different? And I said, well, it's both. It's the same great things you love about Mary Kay, the complimentary aspect, the quality products, the personal consultation, the girlfriend time, but enhanced with a bring the spa to you experience that is more fun, stress relieving, and skin indulging. Everyone is loving it. So do you see how I took like a question that could have been tripped a lot of people up, and I just said, well, it's both. It's both. It's the same great things you love about Mary Kay, the complimentary aspect, the quality products, the personal consultation, the girlfriend time, but enhanced with a bring the spa to you experience that is more fun, stress relieving, and skin indulging. Everyone is loving it, which is such a true statement on like at just every level. And you guys, you know, the whole thing, is it free? You know, you can also say, yes, that's the beauty of Mary Kay. It's complimentary, you know, but of course, if you love what you try, you know, you can bring some products home with you at the end of the experience. And so you have to remember that sometimes you're going to get these questions. And like April said, that's a great thing. That means you're hook, line, and sinking them into this beauty experience, and they're engaged. That's great. They're open to the idea. You know, I've done so many of these, and each time I tweak it and make it flow better and make it easier. And you guys, that's what you're going to do. And I want to encourage you, after every beauty experience, I want you to sit down and say, what did I really like about that experience? You know, what didn't I like about that experience? How could I make that flow better? You know, I think if you sit down and just, before you even, maybe even pull out of their driveway, or before, when you pull back into your driveway, before you go in your house, just think, what are some things I loved? What are some things I want to improve? And make some mental notes so that you can tweak it next time. And every single time, your beauty experience is going to get better and better. Some things I love the clipboards. Like April said, I have one too. And something I do with my set sheet is the very first, this isn't the very first thing they see. The back is the first thing that's on their clipboard. And sometimes I'll have the profile card at the top if I haven't pre-profiled, filled it out beforehand with the pre-profiling information that I call and get from them, or that they put on the Google form. But when we do points instead of tickets, I got rid of tickets just because it was something else I had to carry in. And because I'm adding other enhancements, I'm like, I'm not carrying a big roll of tickets in. I'm just going to do points. And so since they have the dry erase markers that came in the starter kit, they have the new set sheets, I'm having them put their name. Again, I'm not going to bring the name cards in, especially if I'm having 8 to 10 people at a party, in bold at the bottom of this on their clipboard. So when they have their clipboard, I can see their name as we're going through the experience. And it helps me remember, like, Caitlin, you're using the charcoal mask, because I can see her name on the thing, and it helps me to use her name more, and people love to hear their name. So that, and I use they tally their points up here. And at the end, whoever has the most points is going to get a gift. Like April said, she always does the bag with the gift certificate to use at their next appointment. I always have a cute box that has a bunch of the minis in it, the product minis that the company has in section 2 in there, and they get to pick one of those if they end up with the most points. And so that's a tool that I love that makes my beauty experience flow better. The other thing, I love the spa music. I love the sparkling juice. I love toasting the hostess. I love to take pictures in the midst of my beauty experience for multiple reasons. Number one, it's just fun to say, let's get a selfie, and if you don't mind, you know, I'll post it and you guys can tag yourselves or whatever, or they can use it as something for their fun Instagram feeds or whatever. But I also use the picture as a great booking referral tool, so that I'm real and the experience happened and their friend introduced me to them. And so the pictures, and it can be, you know, with the masks on, it can be after, whatever you think is most fun and where it fits in the best. But don't forget to take a picture, because you can use that later as a booking tool with your referrals. And then I want to talk a little bit too about using washcloths. I've switched to using black washcloths for anyone who does the charcoal mask, because I'm finding that they're a little bit harder to keep clean, and the white for everything else. And so it's just because if you notice, especially if you have hard water, sometimes those white tend to, even if you're bleaching them, that charcoal is just hard to get out. So black washcloths for the charcoal masks, and that also helps you to determine who's getting what. And I just put the washcloth on their mirrored tray, and I know they're getting the charcoal mask. And so that's another thing that I tweaked that I really like. And you can get them on Amazon, the black ones, really, really cheap. Just wash them a couple times before you use them at your first experience. And then the other thing that I love, and this has nothing really to do with the beauty experience, except for the fact that I love it and it gets lots of results, and I feel like I should say it, is when you're doing the one-on-one and you're getting their sale and you're getting their second experience scheduled and you're getting a career chat scheduled with them, I want you to show them that referral sheet and ask them to circle their favorite people on it, and just ask them to describe those people with one word. Because when you're calling and booking these referrals, you can actually use that one word that one person said about them, and it will help you be more relatable to the referral, and you will book referrals like crazy. So for example, if I said, well, tell me, you circled Susan on your referral sheet. Tell me about Susan. And she said, oh my gosh, she's so warm and caring, and she has like 5 bajillion Facebook friends. When I call Susan, I'm going to say, Susan, I can't wait to talk to you because Caitlin said that you are like super warm, caring, and that you have like a gazillion Facebook friends, and we have to totally be friends. You know, so it's a way for me to connect, not just with the picture, but also she said this about you at this experience, and I just had to get to know you better. Like I had to call you. I had to call you first. Okay. So the only other thing that I use to make my process a little bit smoother is the Google form. I'm not going to go into detail on how to create a Google form. You can look that stuff up on Google. But I use a Google form for the hostess, which helps me remind her about children and about having a separate area and about food, holding off food till the end and all of that stuff. It reminds her the things that she needs to be aware of. And then I have a separate one for the guests to RSVP on. And that one is where they actually pick their treatment. So I am fully prepared ahead of time. And I know a little bit about them. So when I call them to pre-profile and confirm that they're coming, like I already have a little bit of information on them, and I'm just kind of going over it and creating that relationship, you guys. And so the Google form has been like a wonderful thing. And now that you can add pictures to the Google form, you can add the menu and the packages and everything. And it's so pretty and so professional. And so I really highly recommend using that in your process of booking and coaching these beauty experiences. And then the last thing I want to say, and then if April has anything to add or if Julia wants to chime in and ask questions, is that we have tools. And so a lot of the things that we're talking about are going to be added to a Dropbox link. And Julia will most likely be adding these things to the website if they're not her website, if they're not already there. And so if you have questions about like what should go on this or what should go on that, or that biocellulose like page that April was talking about, or like just what the set sheet, you know, how to get the set sheet laminated and now that it's spelled correctly and all of that stuff, it's going to be on that Dropbox as tools that you can use, or you can create your own. Again, this isn't a perfect cookie cutter thing. If what you're doing works, don't change it. But those options are there because it's what we're using. It's what's working for us. And some of you are like, I just want to do what's working. And so we're giving you what's working. And if you want to just run with that, great. But if you have things that you already love about your parties and you want to keep those in your beauty experiences, great. Like it's not meant to overcomplicate it. Really, this is meant to create life and excitement and enjoyment in the booking and coaching process, and more excitement and fun and enjoyment in your business. Like this has really been so fun and so enjoyable, and not just for me, but for everybody that's going. And so it's just been so awesome. And I want to thank you guys for running with it and for giving us this opportunity to share with you. It's been a true joy to share my brain. I'm sure it's been a true joy for April to share her brain and what like we've come up with as we've kind of exploded this idea of the experience into something that will just hopefully just ramp up your parties and your bookings so that you just have growth. So April, do you want to add anything before we kick it back to Julia?
No, I think that is a perfect roundup. So
okay, great. Julia, you're still on mute.
Thanks, man. Okay, what I wanted to say before, just to wrap it up, is a couple things. If you're hearing this and you're starting to go a little bit like, I want you to know that on my website, on juliaburnett.com, even if you're watching this like way into the future, you're like, where's the Dropbox? I can't find the Dropbox. It's okay. It's going to be on juliaburnett.com, and there's going to be a drop-down menu, and there's going to say beauty experience, and all the documents that they're talking about, all the sheets, like the clipboard that April was showing you, all of that is kiss these two leaders for all they've invested in that and all the money they've invested too with graphic designing. And I mean, really kiss these two women when you see them, because they have invested so much energy and resources into this. But it's all going to be on my website. The second thing that we can commit to you is that Tina and April are working on a flip chart that would be an addendum, or you would add it into the company's flip chart, so that I think once you get a flip chart and you can just read through it and flip the page, I think you're going to feel a lot more like, okay, this is like a Mary Kay skincare class that we now have brought forward into 2017, and we're speaking the language of the average American woman. And so I think you're going to see that this really is like the same thing. We're just using different verbiage. And the other thing that I want to commit to you, if you're watching this, is that we will put together a packing list so that you could actually see, okay, here's my packing list. Here are the papers I need to print off and get laminated so I can reuse them. And here's my flip chart. And now I'm going to be okay and I can do this. All right. What I want to say is the selfie that April and Tina were talking about, the before and after, that's exactly like our Mary Kay's compliment time. You know, when you can have women, they're selling each other on the product, so you're not selling to them. They're selling each other. I love the phrase of coconut water facial. I mean, that's like what it feels like when you put on that Korean-inspired biocellulose mask. What I also want to say, and I want you to hear me on this, there's two major points I want to leave you with. One is the fact that these women are teaching from what they're currently doing. They're teaching what's working, and they're showing you that they are getting a lot more people. They're getting in front of a ton more people and building their business in a more efficient way. Because when you can do an appointment, and instead of having one person or two or three or four or five there, they're getting in front of like 10 plus people at a time. Okay. Can you imagine, for the same amount of time, almost the same amount of energy, you are being more efficient. Okay, so if you're going to leave your home and leave your children and leave your husband, may the time be worth it. Okay, and this is a way to be more efficient in your business. Okay, the other thing I want to say is, you know, everything starts, or nothing happens until somebody sells something. Well, someone's not going to sell something until somebody books something. Okay, and what I want to share, the last point I want to share with you is that, listen to me. Let me reach through the phone, or not the phone, whatever this is, the camera, and let me say this, that we are living in a time where we have never in human history seen more change than what we are experiencing right now. Okay, our grandfathers, our parents never experienced more change than we are living in right now. Okay, and those who are willing to be innovative and to get creative will actually have a head start and a jump on the way the society is changing. And so what this is this is not changing Mary Kay values. This is not changing Mary Kay culture, Mary Kay traditions. That never goes out of style. Okay, but sometimes the technique must shift with where society is going. Women today are busy. Women today are stressed, and women today need to relax, and they want to be restorative. They want community, they want connection, and they want to de-stress. And so simply what you're doing is that you are offering that, and you're speaking the language of the average American woman. Women, like April said, love customization, and women love choice. And that's essentially what you're giving them. Women today, particularly millennials, love experiences. They want experiences. Last night I went to a concert, and some of the people in the group I was with are a little bit older than me, and they have kids that are millennials, and they're talking about, you know, we came from nothing, we were poor, we worked our buns off, and we've got the cars and the houses and all of that. And our kids who are millennials, they don't want the cars and the houses, they want the experience. They want to take a year off and travel around the world. I mean, she's like, I don't understand. But that is what millennials want, is they want experiences. And so what you're doing is you're speaking their language. All right. I want to share with you that I believe that the innovativeness that these women have come up with is what will take Mary Kay to the #1 status. And so we are inviting you into that. I don't think this is a fad. I don't think this is going away. In fact, I think this is only going to get bigger. And I think that I want to ask for you to lovingly consider maybe trying out having a beauty experience. If you're new to this and you're like, I don't know what to do, when you call someone to book them, just say, you know what, Mary Kay, we have launched this new spa-like experience, and I wanted to see, I need a few guinea pigs. You know, would you be willing to grab a few girlfriends together and have a spa experience with me? I think it'd be like really relaxing and a lot of fun. And I think that you'll be so excited to see where your business goes. So thank you again for your time. Just know that we commit to you to have the packing list, all the documents on my website. Give me a couple more days. We're still going through, and I don't want too much information. I want just enough to go on my website, and I want it to be complete and finished. So when you go there, that you will have a very good list of what you need to make this powerful. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, April, for your innovativeness. And I couldn't be more proud of the two of you. And I want to share publicly that these two leaders have more personal appointments on their date books than any other consultant or any other sales director in our area. And they lead the two largest units of women in our national area, and their personal business is blowing it up, and it's because of this. So thank you again. Love you. Thank you for all of you who are watching, and I hope you found this a great added value to your day. All right, you'll have an amazing day. Thanks again. Bye.